Meeting to order. Can I have roll call, please, B?
Mr. Delacorte?
Here.
Mr. Lorenzini?
Here.
Mr. Shaw?
Is here.
Mr. Hall?
Here.
Mr. Galati?
I am here as well.
Are we switched?
It was a long holiday.
I get that right. All righty, the first order of business tonight will be the acceptance of the minutes from December 14th, 2021. Everybody had a chance to review?
Yes.
Everybody good? Any revisions?
No.
Changes? Okay, can I have a motion, please, to accept the minutes as written?
Motion to accept the minutes as written.
Can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. All right, second order of business tonight is public hearing, appeal number 217743, Sarah and Christopher Suarez, seeking an area variance, section 24037 of district regulations in an R20/40 zoning district, where 50 feet is required to the rear property line. The applicant can provide 22 foot 6 inches to allow for an addition to include a dining room, bedroom, laundry room, mudroom, thus requesting a variance of 27 feet 4 inches. The property is located at 1 Peggy Lane and is identified as tax grid number 615703497297 in the town of Wappinger. Can I have a motion, please, to open public hearing?
I'll make a motion.
Can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, so moved. Okay, for the board's benefit, and anybody else who might be listening in, just state your name for the record.
Sure. This is Garrett Leggett from Day and Scholes Engineers, and I have Chris and Sarah Suarez.
Gotcha, and please give us just a brief description of what you need and why you need it.
Okay, we're looking for a variance, a rear yard variance for the setback. What we're looking to do is to put an addition on the back of the home, as we already spoke of. We're trying to replace what's there already, but make it an actual addition. It was a screened-in porch and open deck, as you guys might have seen from your site inspection. We're just looking to replace that with an actual living space.
Gotcha. Okay, so we were out at the site, and we took a look at what's going on. Thanks for marking out the property line and the basic footprint. On further inspection and going over the plan, the variance as stated in the record, right, is from the rear property line to the structure of the house, right? But you have the steps that then protrude from the deck out into the backyard.
Okay.
So that the variance really should have been, or requested to have been, from the rear property line to the stairs, not the house. Now, the stairs are, several feet, as you know, closer to the property line, which brings you much closer to the property line than the structure actually would be. So, a couple of options, right? We could start the whole process over again, and you'd have to then republish with the new variance if you'd like to request that variance, but I would have to caution you that it's a huge variance that you would be requesting then, right? You gotta be, with the stairs going out the back that way, those stairs are gonna become very close to that rear property line. And the variance that you would need then would be substantial, quite substantial, actually, right? The board frowns on that a bit, right? The other option would be, if we were to move forward and vote on this tonight, to the foundation, the variance to the foundation, you would have to agree, or we would have to condition that the steps then would have to move to the side. Probably in the most likely choice would probably be the side where the deck is, right? Because the other side of the addition is gonna be where your bedroom is, right? Not a great spot for the stairs, right? So there's either one of two options. We either gotta start over and republish, or we can move forward, but we'd have to condition that the stairs go to the side.
I think, if you guys are okay with it, I think we should move forward with the stairs being moved to the side.
To the
Adjusted,
side,
and
so
there'll be
we're,
a-
so we're
yeah.
clear to the side where the deck is, or facing house, the right side, the garage side, basically, the right side of the house.
So I have a question. Since this is in the R40 district, you need 25 feet to the side, and by the survey, it looks like you have 32.3. Can you do that and still allow 25 feet, like the steps, and maybe shorten the landing?
I think so, because I have a feeling that,
You might have a foot or so
yeah, we
in.
wouldn't have, what happens is the deck actually comes down a step or two now, So we can adjust it as such that the stairs will be on top of that existing deck to the addition, that therefore it'll shorten up the stairs that come down the side. It probably won't be much farther out than what's already there.
So the staircase would almost be inside, right, of the deck.
I mean, you have 7 feet to play with outside of the deck, but we'd need new plans to show that it still meets the 25-foot setback.
Okay. So then I guess we could move forward then tonight, and we could bring the vote to the board to then rule on the variance as written with the condition that the stairs be on the right side. Okay?
And within a 20, not within 25 feet from the sideline.
That's correct.
Right, so I think we have to put both conditions.
That's
right?
correct, correct. Okay, and if there are also any other questions from the board for you guys, I think other than that, it was pretty straightforward. Anybody in the audience have any comments, objections? Okay, so that being the case, can I have a motion then please to close the public hearing?
I'll make the motion to close it.
I'll second.
Second,
We have a second?
Again?
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, so move. Okay, then can I have a motion to grant or deny the applicant the variance with the conditions? The conditions of the stairs being on the right side of the deck and that they meet the side setbacks as well.
I'll make the motion that we grant the variance. The requested variance will not produce an undesirable change to the neighborhood. There will be no substantial detriment to nearby properties. There is no other feasible means to pursue this benefit that you seek. The variance will not have an adverse effect on or impact on the physical or environmental condition of the neighborhood or district. And the alleged difficulty is self-created but not enough to stop you from getting the variance. And then I would like to have the conditions put in that the stairs be moved to the side and less than 25 feet, which is the sideline setback for your residential area. Is there anything else? Did I miss anything?
No, I think you covered it.
I will second that motion.
We have a second? All in
second.
favor?
Aye.
Can I have roll call, please, B?
Baby David, second. Mr. Delacorte,
Yes.
Mr. Lorenzini,
Yes.
Mr. Shaw,
Yes.
Mr. Barr,
Yes.
Mr. Delotti.
Yes. Okay, so your variance has been granted with the conditions.
very much.
You're free to go.
Okay. Good luck.
Have a good night.
So
luck, guys.
Dee will do her paperwork, I'll approve it, and then it will sit in pending until you bring in new plans. Okay? You're welcome.
Young lady in the back.
All right, third order of business tonight is discussion. Appeal number 217744, Kevin and Mary Denny, seeking an area variance, section 24037 of the district regulations in an R10 zoning district, where 10 feet is required to the rear property line. The applicant can provide 6 feet to allow for a 10-foot by 6-foot shed to remain, thus requesting a 4-foot variance. The property is located at 17 Cayuga Drive and is identified as tax grid number 61570454649 in the town of Wappinger.
That's
Do you
not
have any?
her.
No? We don't have any representation tonight? No?
These look like owners that are not present.
Correct.
Right, I've seen a few
I
different.
believe this is for the sale of the
addresses.
house too, so I'm surprised they're not here.
Say again, Barbara, I'm sorry.
I believe this is one of the houses that are for sale, and the violation was found upon a municipal search that was being done. So I'm a little surprised because time is of the essence with these
And the
things.
actual owner is in South Carolina. My sister that lives in Pleasant Valley was the one doing all the paperwork. So she was copied on one of those emails I
Right,
sent you
right.
guys, with the agenda, just to show so she is aware.
It's a Realtor? I'm sorry, Pete. You say the
I'm
Realtor?
sorry?
The Realtor, you said?
No, sister.
No, sister,
Sister.
Sister of the applicant.
doing the paperwork. And she was copied on there.
Do we reschedule the discussion for the next meeting?
Yeah, the best we can do is put
And then
this
the
on
other
the
one
next.
is this thing laughing because we haven't want to sell this house.
Yeah. Well,
So
I
we
guess
can't
then-
move ahead without someone representing the applicant.
I
can't
think we have
approve
to make a
No,
We
we can't.
adjourn
Do
this to the
I guess-
next?
I guess we gotta, right?
It's unfortunate, but
Yeah.
we'll have to
Do we
adjourn
need a
it.
motion to?
No, it's not a, no,
Okay.
it's just,
No motions, right?
it's just a no-show, and
Yeah.
it's
So
only a
then we'll-
discussion.
We'll put it on discussion on the next meeting.
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
forward to more and find out what next
Yes.
happens.
Okay. All right.
So I just had a miscellaneous,
Lee.
for properties that are in areas that may have an agricultural overlay, that's not a zoning district. Whatever district they're in, R40, R80, whatever. So most property that's over 7 or 10 acres can get into an agricultural district, but that doesn't give them farming exemptions. So, not mentioning who, we had one recently, and the building was rather large.
Yes.
And the only way they can avoid needing a variance is if the assessor here gives them an exemption. And it's very involved. You know, they have to, if it's 10 acres or more, they have to be able to show that they make $10,000 worth of income from their property. If it's under 10 acres, and in the one I'm thinking of, you take the house, you take the front yard out, if it's under 7 acres that's actually being farmed, they have to produce $50,000.
Can you say it at 10 acres?
I know,
or
it doesn't make sense. So less than 10,
Yeah.
like 7 acres or
Yeah.
less, they have to produce $50,000 worth of what would fall under architectural, I'm sorry, not agricultural sales.
Okay.
So you could have a horse farm, and maybe they board horses or sell them. So you can, there are ways and small lots to make that kind of money. Over 10 acres or 10 acres and more, it's 10,000.
Otherwise
And
15,000.
only the assessor can give that exemption. So if they are considered a farm by exemption from the assessor, they still would need building permits according to the New York State Building Code, but they would be exempt from a variance because they're farm-related. But we have a lot of properties in the town that are in the ag and markets district as just open space. Some of them are just residents. Some people just have 2 horses for their own pleasure. That doesn't make it a farm. So I just wanted to clear that up. So the one in question has choices now, but would still, to move forward, would need a variance from you. He's still, that property would still be under your jurisdiction. So.
Are they coming back to us, you mean? or-
I don't know what he's choosing to do
Okay.
at this point, but right now, we did a lot of investigation. Jennifer Simbal is, I think, the foremost agricultural guru in the county. She works out of Cornell Extension. So she's spoken to that person and his attorney, and we've spoken to the assessor. So the option for him is to wait and see if he can get the exemption. It's not a given. He has to do whatever he needs to do with the assessor, and anybody. I'm talking generalities, but I just wanted you as a board to know that if somebody with a large piece of property comes in, we are checking. So I think the misnomer here for people when they buy property and they're being told they're in the ag district, there's an assumption to some people who says, oh, it's like farming and I can do certain things. And that's not quite accurate. And we would send them in the right direction if it looks like that's what they can do. But if they don't want to go for the exemption through the assessor or can't meet the standards, then they're no different than a 1 acre piece. They would still need your approval to move forward on a large structure or whatever it is.
Got it.
So just a little background
Sure.
to go forward.
Good,
To know
thanks.
that.
A little confusing.
Thanks. Any other questions,
Agricultural
Dan?
state, agricultural laws, is that this is coming from, or?
Yeah, so there's 2 things. So a lot of people call me and they go, I'm buying a piece of property and it's agricultural. And then I look, yes, like a lot of, say, Didell Road or parts of Robinson Lane where you drive and you see a lot of farms. That's right, they are on the Dutchess County agricultural map. they have been brought into ag and markets overlay. But that doesn't give them the exemption to be able to do certain things that farmers are entitled to, such as a reduction in taxes, or certain things they're no longer, how can I put this, so the size of a barn. So if you're a guy and you just have a lot of cars and you want a big barn, you still have to come to you. But if you're a guy who bought something and raises horses or boards horses, well, he needs a big barn. So the state protects him because he is a true farm by definition, and the assessor has given him the exemption, which I guess solidifies that statement. So being in a district is not the same as being considered a true farm.
Does that reset when the property is sold? Like if a active farm is sold to someone that is more of a hobbyist?
Okay, so if you have the ag exemption because you're a farm, whatever you're farming, when you sell it, the new person would have to come in and he's going to farm it and get the exemption. As far as the district goes, they only look at that every 8 years, so you stay on the map. Even if you, say you were a farmer and you did, I don't know, hay and strawberry fields, and I buy it and I just want a big piece of property and I have 2 horses for myself, I wouldn't get the exemption, but the property stays in the district. And that's the defining thing. Being in the overlay doesn't give you farmer rights until you get the exemption from the town that you're in. And you have to yearly keep that exemption up with the assessor.
So the assessor makes that determination?
Yes, on a yearly basis, from what I understand, and talking to Ms. Simbal and even our assessor, they have to come in with receipts and prove that they've actually met the threshold to stay there. So if they sell it, it's kind of like an accessory apartment in the town. You can take it out for your mom, but if your mom moves to Florida, you're supposed to remove the kitchen and revert the apartment back to a one-family home. So a lot of them do, they get caught when they're being sold. So if the person buying it truly is putting a family member in, we have a mechanism where they can come and see me and open up the permit with the proof of who the family member is, and we can start the process so that it's legal, and they just can't finish it until they have a deed. So sometimes it takes 2 or 3 months till the deed's filed.
So if someone buys an active farm that has an oversized barn on it, which is legal under,
It's
it's a
already been
farmer.
legalized from the farmer.
it has to be legalized, would we then?
No, we
No.
don't go back and
It's
look.
grandfathered in, we don't,
Yes, I mean, we don't, we're not looking, but if that person wanted to do something to it, enlarge it, renovate it, I would have to see at that point, And if it was just a farm with stalls and not furbished to be an office and or living quarters, that's different. Just like a farmer can have apartments on the property for his farm workers or managers, but he can't have apartments and rent them to the school teacher. So Ag and Markets is a very strong group, and the laws are very strong to protect our open space, which is very good that they have that strict protection from towns and cities. On the other hand, the average person can't circumvent that to their own benefit. So in this case, I'm sure that person will look for the exemption and may not be back, but then we'll deal with it as a building permit. But if he wanted to move forward, he couldn't move forward at this time without your approval.
Got it. Yeah, thank you.
thank you, Bart.
Thank you for the education.
And it's shaky. We call Ms. Simbal a lot because it's very gray to the average person who isn't involved. And for most building inspectors, the classes we take, it's like a moving target, so the laws keep changing. So to be fair to the homeowner who wants to have a farm, we get this woman involved who tends to lean to help the farmer, but she tells you when it's not,
Sure.
so.
Okay. That being said, do you have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
Second?
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved.
What are we doing with these, Barb?